Good morning. This is State Court of Clayton County. I'm Judge Tammy Long Hayward. This is the jail calendar for February 3rd of 2026. Okay. I'm going to call the calendar, and the attorneys who are present will respond on behalf of the individuals. Did you all have an opportunity to speak with everybody, or are you still going to need to conference?
Judge, I believe we've spoken with everyone except for one person, perhaps give or take one, but we're ready to go through it, Judge. We should be pretty much concluded.
Okay, first case on the calendar is Eddie Conrad Adams. This is a petition.
Judge, it's going to be a stipulation today.
Okay. Cedric Lee Clark.
Negotiated plea.
Critchlow, Eric Austin Critchlow.
Judge, I believe that's going to be a negotiated plea.
Michelle Koklev.
Judge,
mental health issues.
We have a pending evaluation. Judge, I'm going to speak to her briefly, but my understanding is that we're still, this was the one we had the hearing.
Yeah, we had a hearing. Speak with her if you can. If not, she can be sent back, yes, pending her MHE. Anna Osorio.
Judge, Ms. Tortorello speaking to her now, but I expect that's going to be a negotiated plea.
Okay. Antonio Sherman Pierce.
Judge, we're going to enter a not guilty plea today.
Okay. So give him my speech about not violating his bond conditions and he can go back.
Yes, Judge, I will, but well,
what?
Never mind.
You need me to do it?
No, Judge. No, Judge. It's not going to be an issue, Judge.
Okay. All right. So, Carlton Vincent.
That's going to be a negotiated plea.
Joseph Shatran Walsh.
Judge, that's also going to be a negotiated plea.
Okay, Mr. Walsh has two cases.
That's correct, Judge. I am going to briefly conference with the state, but it will be negotiated. It will be a plea, and I believe it will be negotiated.
Okay, Michael Javon Washington.
Did we ever? Okay. Judge, the last time I checked, Mr. Washington was, I believe, in Superior Court. I'm going to check with the deputy and see if we've gotten him back.
Okay, and Lorenzo Cornelius Webb.
I believe Ms. Tortorello indicated she wanted a brief conference with the state on that.
All right. All right. So let me know who we're starting with. We can start with the petition if you wish.
That would be fine, Your Honor.
Okay.
Can we get Mr. Adams out? One step.
All right, Mr. Adams, right here for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes.
All right. Speak up just a little bit for me. So, Mr. Adams, you're before the court on a petition for revocation of probation on case 2021 CR 04501 and 2023 CR 06989. You were before this court for DUI per se. driving under the influence, less safe and open container violation on the 10th day of October 2023. You were sentenced to 30 months on probation. You have on the first sentence 1 month and 28 days remaining. No, you have 1 month and 28 days remaining. And the sentence was not told. This is your third probation revocation hearing. You failed to report on January 5th of 2026 for a revocation hearing in court. You failed to report to probation on November 20th, 2025, November 24th, 2025, December 4th, 2025, December 5th, 2025. You last reported on November 6th of 2025. You failed to report for drug screenings on November 20th, November 24th, and December 4th of 2025. You failed to document proof of attending community support group meetings at least 2 times per week. The last date that was documented was August 7th of 2025. You failed to complete community service. You documented approximately 174 hours as of September 18th, and you are $558 in arrears. You're represented by Attorney Owen Lynch. Mr. Lynch, what's going on with Mr. Adams, and why has he basically abandoned his requirements?
Judge, from speaking to Mr. Adams, I know he was having some financial difficulties, not being able to make the probation payments. I know that he essentially kind of panicked about that issue, Judge. I've spoken to him about that. He did turn himself in on this, Judge. He also has substantially, completed all the community service on the original term of probation. He has made significant inroads into getting the community service on this term of probation completed. He says he's documented 174. I believe that he may have even completed more hours than that, Judge. And I'm going to let Mr. Adams speak to the reporting issue, Judge.
Mr. Adams, first thing I tell people every time is if you're having difficulty with your probation requirements, don't skip reporting. You got to report. So I don't know why you didn't listen to me.
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor, with me and Ms. Chang, and she's been very patient with me. I have reported, I literally pretty much did this to myself, and I understand that. With me and Ms. Chang, I never actually, the duration of my probation, I hadn't missed my appointments, and if I did, then I called her, and most of the time I missed my appointments either with a job interview or a doctor's appointment, or when I was in the hospital. I tried my best to make every appointment I could with her. And like I said, I did this to myself as far as not reporting, because she was losing her patience with me, and she kept, reiterating that she was going to violate me, because, some of these things were not being done. And I really was making an attempt. I was not trying to be disrespectful to the court or to her. I was trying to make an attempt and I did go to these classes. Some of the times I left my paper. It's all it sounds like is excuses, but it's the truth. I would leave my paper at home, as far as community service, not community service and DUI, but my Alcoholics Anonymous classes. I would go to different locations just to try my best to do those, because you have to do it like maybe Monday they had the meetings, and it was maybe Monday and Tuesday, but I had as far as working on some, I had Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I would have to go to different locations even to try to keep up with the AA classes. Long story short, I wasn't trying to run from it. I really want to just put this behind me. Literally, it's been 30 months. The last time I was here in front of you, you wanted me to come to see Ms. Chang every bi-weekly, and I hadn't failed not one test, drug screening. I came up here every 2 weeks, even when I didn't have to report to her. I did come up here and take my drug, not failed not once. As far as drug screening, I totally understand. It was a very stupid and irresponsible decision for me to, drive. I get it, because it's been nothing but a hassle. I've lost my great job. I lost my car, and I can't blame anybody but myself. I understand the ramifications of what I've done. I could have hurt somebody. I could have hurt myself. And I did it to myself because, like I said, I'm gonna make a long story short. She was getting really tired of me saying that, and she kept saying that she was gonna violate me. And I knew what violation meant. It meant come back in front of you and you say, hey, listen, if I violated a third time, you told me that. You said if I violated a third time, you was gonna have me sit in here. So as soon as I seen that I had a warrant, it didn't even start another week before I turned myself in. It's like I didn't want you guys coming to my home, and you guys didn't have to look for me. I knew what I did, and I knew that she was running out of patience, and I didn't complete everything that you ordered me to do. So with that said, I mean, like I literally get off on like March the 3rd. I really want to just put all of this behind me.
Ms. Chang? You muted. Ms. Chang?
Ms. Chang, you're muted.
You're muted.
I apologize, Your Honor. So probation recommends that a month and 28 days, that's the time remaining on the case, be revoked. He's been in jail since January 11th. That's about 22 days. With regard to the drug screens, since his last positive, he had been screening every 2 weeks. So February 28th, 2025 to November 6th, 2025, he's been negative on all those screens. So he just, quit reporting, and the actually wanted to make a correction on the petition. The sentence is told as of January 5th, when he failed to report to court on that date. But he was doing well until he just quit reporting.
Mr. Lynch?
Judge, I'd ask Your Honor to consider revoking 30 days and closing the case.
Right. So defendant shall serve the balance of his probation in the Clayton County Jail. He shall receive credit since lockup. Upon service of 1 month and 28 days, defendant shall be released and case closed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you, Your Honor. And that's all I have this morning. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Chang. I'm sending it to you now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
He's off probation. You talking about Adam?
All right, Miss. I guess Miss Chang is gone, but she'll let me know if it came through.
I'm sorry, Judge. Were we
I'm
waiting?
sorry.
Were we waiting on an issue with him with probation?
No, I
Oh.
said Miss Chang will let me know. They put a new operating system on my iPad, so when I sign, sometimes it doesn't go through with my signature. So I'm just trying to figure it all out. Oh, they shouldn't do this to old people. All right, so I'm ready on whoever's next. Cedric Lee Clark.
Let's do, if we could do Cedric Clark next.
Okay.
Take one step to your left so the judge can see. Change the angle of this
All
camera.
right, raise your right hand for me, sir. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yeah, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So Cedric Lee Clark, you're before the court on case 2026 CR 00308 for loitering or prowling, count 1, and obstruction of an officer, count 2. Mr. Lynch, what is your client pleading to the offenses before the court?
Excuse me, Judge. No contest to count 1. I believe the state will no pros count 2.
All right, by entering a plea of nolo to count 1 and count 2 will be no pros, Mr. Clark, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf to not incriminate yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, on December 29th, 2025, officers were dispatched to 483 Valley Hill Road in Riverdale, Georgia, in reference to a suspicious person. They found Mr. Clark on the property without any lawful purpose. He was unable to provide a satisfactory explanation for his presence and gave vague and inconsistent responses. The state's recommendation is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served, balance suspended, do not return to 483 Valley Hill Road, Riverdale, Georgia. Count 2 is null prost.
All right. Mr. Clark, I'm going to accept your plea of nolo to count 1. Count 2 will be null pros. I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served. Balance will be suspended as long as you do not go back to 483 Valley Hill Road, Riverdale, Georgia, Clayton County. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You can go back with the sheriff's office.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Next. Yes.
I just wanted to state that one of our clients in custody now does need an interpreter to move forward with her negotiating.
Okay. Miss Val or Miss Powell, can y'all is that Miss Osario?
Yes, Judge.
All right. So can we get an interpreter for Miss Osario? And in fact, I believe if one of the interpreters is in court, she did state that she would assist today if you needed her to.
I do remember her saying that, Judge. I don't see her, but I guess we can hold. And if she doesn't appear, we can make further efforts or however the court wants to handle that.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, Miss Val's gonna take care of it. Okay. Do we want to go to Critchlow next?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
All right.
Oh, there we are. We can do y'all's next. Stand next to me, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true, Mr. Criswell?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you're before the court on 2026 CR 00179 for count 1, battery family violence, count 2, battery, count 3, simple battery family violence, count 4, simple battery, and count 5, cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Mr. Lynch, what is your client plea to the offenses before the court?
Judge, it's a guilty plea to count 1.
All right. Counts 2, 3, and 4 will merge. Count 5 will be no prost.
And let me verify, Judge, I don't want to speak out of turn. I believe that's what we agreed to, but let me just double check. I know if not, I may need to speak to Ms. Bing.
I'm gonna text you, Mr. Lynch. Actually, that's fine. We're gonna null process that.
Okay. No prost number 5.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. So by entering a plea of guilty to count 1, counts 2, 3, and 4 will merge. Count 5 will be no prost. You give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, on December 15th, 2025, officers were dispatched to 241 Falcon Drive. That's the Economy Hotel in Forest Park, Georgia. A neighbor could hear children crying and loud thumping and profanity. When officers arrived, they found that Mr. Eric had disciplined his 3-year-old daughter with a belt because she urinated on the floor. The child had welts on her thighs, red marks on her buttocks area. She also had a busted upper lip, which may or may not have come from that. Recommendation is 12 months to serve, 30 days credit for time served, balance probated, 12 hours of anger management, a parenting class, 50 hours of community service, and no contact with the victim.
Can I have one moment, Your Honor?
Yeah. No contact with whom?
With the, oh, I'm sorry. The name is, and
Judge, I'm sorry. Is it my turn to speak?
yeah, I'm just giving her the victim's name.
My apologies.
Just give me one quick second. Zaria Johnson. That's Z as in Z, Haria, Johnson, traditional spelling.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Lynch.
Judge, we are going forward as a negotiated plea, Judge, but what I wanted to ask the court to consider, my understanding is that this is this is his child. This is the child with his wife. I believe that his wife wants him to be able to have contact. Part of the sentence agreement is a parenting class, Judge, which he is happy to do. Judge, I would just ask that you address that no contact provision, perhaps go ahead and set a date and allow, once he's successfully completed that, allow him to be heard on that, Judge, because notwithstanding what you have heard, Judge. I know that my client is a good dad. He provides for that child and is actively involved in the child's life. And I know that the child's mother wants him to be able to see the child. So I just ask that Your Honor go ahead and set a date to address that issue where the child's mother can be heard on that as well.
May I respond?
Yeah.
So we don't want to keep parents from their children, obviously. However, when I spoke with Mr. Lynch, I was ready to agree, but for the fact that I have not heard from the child's mom. And so should the child's mom come back in and say, hey, we'd like to revise this, that's fine. But because we have not gotten that okay, we'd like to place that provision, now. And then give them the opportunity to revise it if they choose to do that.
I think we're in agreement.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
agreeing. Okay, here's the problem. So, Mr. Critchlow, it's a 3-year-old. 3-year-old's gonna pee. That's just their baby still. There's no reason to be hitting a 3-year-old with a belt. If you haven't properly trained a child, then potty trained a child, then you're the problem. Not only that, if you're living in a hotel, you already know your situation is unstable. Children respond to instability. If that child is nervous, it's unstable, y'all arguing and fighting in the hotel room, the baby gonna pee because that's how she expresses not feeling secure.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I know everybody's old school. I'm old school in a lot of ways, but you don't need to be hitting no 3-year-old with a belt.
I agree, ma'am. And I agree.
What you need to do is focus on getting your family stable so that she doesn't have issues where she's peeing on herself because psychologically she doesn't feel that she's in a good place.
I agree, ma'am. I've had time to think about it, ma'am, and you're right. I agree.
Take the parenting class. If you come to me after that, if probation comes to me after that and y'all want to set up a hearing, then you can be heard. But until that point, no contact. And I'm chagrined that the mom is not here to weigh in on this because I don't want her thinking that she should be raising a belt to this child without you there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
But if kids that age who know how to go to the bathroom are peeing on themselves, it's because there's turmoil or they feel like there's something that they're insecure about.
Right.
That's a stress response. Don't make it worse by beating her with a belt. All right, 12 months, 30 days, credit for time served. Balance will be probated for you to take an anger management class for 12 hours, parenting class, and do 50 hours of community service. Until such time as the court revisits this issue, you're to have no contact with Zaria Johnson. And that is an acceptance of your guilty plea on count 1. Counts 2, 3, and 4 will merge, and count 5 will be no pros. You can go back with the sheriff's office.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, Ms. Tortorello.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm good. Are you ready on something?
Yeah, Miss Ozario.
Okay. Is the Spanish interpreter in the courtroom?
Yes, she's here.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. Tolles. So. Good morning. Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court on 2026 CR 00310. State versus Anna Osorio. For obstruction of a license plate, count 1, and no license, count 2. You're represented by Attorney Tortorello. Ms. Tortorello, what does your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Your Honor, for count 1, obstruction of license plate, my understanding is that will be null crossed. And for count 2, Your Honor, no license, that will be a no-low plea.
All right. By entering a plea of nolo, Ms. Osorio, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes.
All right. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
On December 21st, 2025.
Your Honor,
And,
defense stipulates to the facts if that's okay with the court.
Sure.
I'm fine. Okay. Recommendation, please.
Count 1 is null pros, count 2, 12 months to serve 10 days, credit for time served, balance suspended.
All right. Ms. Osorio, I'm going to accept the no pros. Count 1, count 2 will be a no-low. 12 months to serve 10 days, credit for time served. A balance will be suspended as long as you have no new violations of the laws of the state of Georgia. You can go back to the sheriff's office.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So, Mr. Pierce is a not guilty. He can go back. And then I have Vincent, Wall, Washington, and Webb.
We're ready on it. Vincent, want to do Vincent now? You can tell the deputy Vincent. Sorry. I don't know. Did you hear?
Thank you. This is Mr. Vincent. Mr. Vincent, y'all have to unmute in the courtroom. Mr. Vincent, raise your right hand for me.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. This is case 2026 CR 00181 for criminal trespass, count 1, public drunk, count 2. You're represented by attorney Owen Lynch with the law firm of Lister, Holton, Dennis. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offense before the court?
Judge, she pleads no contest to count 1.
All right, by entering a plea of nolo to count 1, count 2 will be no pros. You give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, on December 24th, 2025, officers were patrolling the MARTA airport station, saw Mr. Vincent drinking a beer, unsteady on his feet, bloodshot red eyes, smelled of alcohol. He was already under a permanent ban there, so he was criminally trespassing. Count 1 is 12 months to serve. I think it's been more than 30 days. Give me 1 second to count it out. 40 days. Credit for time served. Balance suspended. Do not return. We are now processing the public drunkenness.
Okay. All right. Mr. Vincent, you've been banned from MARTA, so you have to stay off all MARTA premises. This is 12 months to serve 40 days. Credit for time served. Balance will be suspended as long as you do not go back to any MARTA location. So that's bus and train. And that's on count 1. Criminal trespass. On count 2, that will be no pros. And you can go back with the sheriff's office.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Take care of yourself, sir. Who's next?
I believe that would be Mr. Walsh. We can do Walsh next.
All right, Mr. Walsh. Mr. Lynch, if you'll move over just a little bit. Thank you. Mr. Walsh, raise your right hand for me.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So, Mr. Walsh, you're before the court on 2 cases. On the first case, 2026 CR 00153, you're charged with theft by taking, count 1, criminal trespass, count 2, criminal trespass, count 3, obstruction of an officer, count 4. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Judge, we're on the case ending in 00153, correct?
Yes.
Judge, so I did just ask Ms. Bing for one thing of clarification, but I know we'll be pleading guilty to count 1, guilty to count 3, they appear to, I know the state's offered to null pros count 4. Ms. Bang, if you could just
Is,
take a
so
look at
is,
my text and maybe,
on the criminal trespass, is one of them county and one of them state?
no, so Judge, and my hang up is that one of them is for interfering with the property that he's alleged to have stolen. The other one is for criminal trespass for going there. I'm sorry.
Yes, so one of them is for maliciously interfering with the property, and then the other is for being on the premises. If he's gonna, it's okay, we can strike count 2 since count 1 kind of takes care of that.
That was
And
mine.
just go with 1 and 3.
Thank you.
And Mr. Walsh, you're also before the court on 2026 CR 00745 for theft by taking. Mr. Lynch, what is your client plead to the offense on that case?
That's going to be a guilty plea, Judge.
All right. So, Mr. Walsh, by entering a plea of guilty to the case ending in 00153 on counts 1 and 3, counts 2 and 4 will be null pros. And by entering a plea of guilty on the only count of the case ending in 00745, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Your Honor.
All right. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, on the case ending in 153, on December 30th, 2025, officers responded to a theft at JJL Produce at 16 Forest Parkway in Forest Park, Georgia. Mr. Walsh was observed picking up 12 packs of Coca-Cola and 1 12-pack of Fanta Orange, then walking off the property. Apparently he had stolen items from the same location before. State's recommendation is count 1, 12 months to serve, 33 days, credit for time served, balance probated, an anti-theft course, balance suspended, and do not return to JJ's Produce is 16 Forest Parkway, Forest Park, Georgia, 30297. Count 2 is null prost. Count 3 is a concurrent 12 months to serve, 33 days, and do not return. Count 4 is null prost. The case ending in 745, the facts are basically the same. It's the same location, December 29th, just the day before, at 16 Forest Parkway. Sorry, it's the farmer's market, but it was in reference to a theft at JJ's Produce. Again, stealing soda, 2 35-pack cases of Pepsi, all of it totaled about $108. State's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 33 days, credit for time served, balance suspended, and do not return.
All right. Mr. Walsh, on the case 2026 CR 00153 on count 1. Count 1 is 12 months to serve, 33 days, credit for time served, balance probated for you to take an anti-theft class and not go back to the incident location. On count 3, 12 months to serve, 33 days, credit for time served, balance will be suspended as long as you do not violate the laws of the state of Georgia. That's on that will be concurrent with count 1. On the case 2026 CR 00745, the sole count will run concurrent with the case 2026 CR 00153. And that case, you'll be sentenced on that charge to 12 months to serve 33 days, credit for time served. Balance will be suspended as long as you do not go back to the incident location.
And Your Honor, my understanding was that probation can terminate after he completes the anti-theft course.
Okay, let's talk about this. So what's going on that we got back-to-back thefts at the same location? Because if he's just gonna go out and do it again, maybe I'm not addressing this properly.
Judge,
What's going on in your life, Mr. Walsh?
drug addiction.
Okay, but Mr. Walsh, you can't keep victimizing the same people. I know people think, oh, somebody owns a business, so they got it like that. And
No, you
that's
don't
a
have to worry about
fallacy.
that. I learned my lesson. 35 days. I've never been in here more than 2 weeks, and 35 days in here. Trust me, I ain't going back to steal nothing from nobody.
Okay.
I actually have a home plan and a support system now, and everything lined up for me so that way I can go get help and all that stuff too.
Okay, well, please get involved if you don't get into a rehab facility or an outpatient facility, get involved in community support organization like Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, something where you can talk to people who are going through what you're going through. Because the last thing you want to do is cause your addiction to victimize other people. And like I said, people always assume because folk own a business that they can take a loss, and that's not true. Owning a business means you got a lot of responsibility and you're paying for a lot of things that people don't take into account. Just the fact of ownership of a business doesn't make somebody rich. It just means that they got a lot of stuff that they got to think about and pay and overhead and all of those things. So if they lose, they lose. It's not, oh, well, they got it like that or they got insurance. This is somebody whose business could cause them to lose the ability to take care of themselves and their family.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you got to think about that. There's no come up. Okay. All right. You can go back with the sheriff's office.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. You take care. All right. So, the remaining cases, I guess, are Washington, which he was at the Superior Court. Do we need to check and see where he is physically located?
Deputies checking on that. And then Ms. Tortorello, I believe, has an announcement on web.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, that will be a negotiated plea, so we can move forward with that.
Okay, I'm ready on web then.
Web, please.
All right, raise your right hand for me, Mr. Webb. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So you're before the court on State of Georgia versus Lorenzo Cornelius Webb, 2026 CR 00305 for battery family violence count 1, battery count 2, simple battery family violence count 3, and simple battery count 4. Miss Tortorello is your attorney, sir. Ms. Tortorello, what does your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Yes, Your Honor, for count 1, battery family violence, that will be a guilty plea. And my understanding is that counts 2 through 4 will merge into count 1.
All right. By entering a plea of guilty to count 1, battery family violence, counts 2, 3, and 4 will merge, Mr. Webb. You give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, on December 23rd, 2025, officers responded to a dispute call at the Quick Trip on Terra Boulevard. They made contact with Miss Jasmine Parks, who stated that she and her boyfriend, Mr. Webb, who resides in the same home with her, were involved in a verbal argument that became physical. That actually occurred in the hotel on Terra Boulevard, the live-in lodge at 8240 Terra Boulevard. Ms. Parks said that Mr. Webb began striking her in the face multiple times with a closed fist, began to bang her head against the floor when she fell, and when she broke free, he grabbed her again and continued to punch her. Officers did observe multiple lacerations to her face, contusion behind her ear. The state's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 39 days, credit for time served, balance probated, a family violence intervention program, $300 fine, 40 hours of community service, and no contact with the victim. Counts 2, 3, and 4 will merge into count 1.
All right. Ms. Tortorella,
Yes, Your Honor, only that you accept the plea as negotiated.
how does Mr. Webb know Ms. Parks?
I believe they were in a relationship, Your Honor.
Yes,
No
ma'am.
children?
No, ma'am.
All right. So, Mr. Webb, I don't know of the relationship that gets better when people beat on each other. There's no relationship that I've ever heard of that improves when you beat each other up. Just don't know that relationship. If you are frustrated, if y'all situation is bad, y'all need to sit together and figure out like how to make it better instead of beating each other up or you beating her and you ended up in jail because your situation is not going to get any better. You're going to end up in the Clayton County Jail. Not a nice place to be now, and never was, but it's jail. But you didn't fix anything. Your situation's still bad. You just did 39 days in jail, and now you and Ms. Parks are apart by order of the court, so y'all can't fix anything. Nothing gets better by beating on somebody. I'm going to accept your plea of guilty to count 1. Counts 2, 3, and 4 will merge. 12 months to serve 39 days. Credit for time served. Balance will be probated for you to pay a fine in the amount of $300. It's going to be $444 with the surcharges, 40 hours of community service, and you're to take a family violence intervention program. If you mess up and have to start over again, you're going to run out of time. It's 24 weeks. So you need to be diligent about going, attending, signing up, and getting the program. Because obviously you could benefit from the counseling that they give in the family violence intervention program so that you don't end up back in an orange jumpsuit. Are we clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You can go back with the sheriff's office. All right. Do we have Washington down?
I
Whose
believe
case is Washington?
Mr. Lynch, I believe he's speaking with him right now, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Y'all let me know when you're ready on Washington.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Your Honor, we did get Mr. Washington.
Okay, I'm ready when y'all bring him up.
Thank you, Judge. I must be hungry the way I'm looking at that popcorn.
I know it's smelling up in the courtroom.
All right, Mr. Washington, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Amen.
I'm sorry, speak up for me.
Amen.
Okay, you can put your hands down. You're before the court on 2026 CR 00184 for criminal trespass. You're represented by Mr. Lynch. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offense before the court?
Judge, he pleads guilty.
By entering a plea of guilty, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your case against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to be considered innocent. You give up the right to present evidence and testimony on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, Mr. Washington?
Amen.
All right. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, on November 28th, 2025, officers observed Mr. Washington inside the Chevron Food Mart located at 6629 Mount Zion Boulevard. He had been formally trespassed from that same location twice before, on August 8th, 2025 and September 23rd, 2025. His recommendation is 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served, balance suspended, and do not return to 6629 Mount Zion Boulevard, which is the Chevron Food Mart. I believe that's
All right.
Morrow, Georgia.
Yes. All right. So, Mr. Washington, I'm going to accept your plea. I'll send you to 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served. Balance will be suspended as long as you do not go back to the Chevron Food Mart at 6629 Mount Zion, Morrow, Georgia, Clayton County. Do you understand?
Amen.
All right. Don't go back to the Chevron for me, okay?
Amen.
All right. Take care of yourself, Mr. Washington.
Amen.
All right. So, it is my understanding that we've done everything. Did we miss anything?
I thought there was
Ms. Coclev, I think Mr. Lynch wanted to talk to her, but I think she is still pending an MHE. So she can go back with the sheriff's office.
Judge, I would, well,
I got you. I saw it. So yeah, it may take a little bit more time. All right. So we will see y'all in